During my last update, I gave you a plan of what I had to do. And here, the first step was I had to clear the rockery of all the trees and bushes and rocks. Now, this is the the roots that I cleared, and there's quite a significant amount of them. But it was very difficult to get these roots out because they were clinging to all the rocks. Now, as I was prying these stones out of the roots, I divided them up into two groups. As you can see, this group here is the good stones, and there's a significant pile of them. And then there's another significant, but not as big, pile of what I think is just rubble. Now, this is the before picture when I started, and this is the after. Now, the oval shape that you see there is a pond, and it is a solid structure. It's made of bricks and mortar. Now, what happened there was, as I was digging down, I felt the soil was really wet in this area, and it had made a bog, and it had collected water at the bottom. Now, a bog is very bad for fruit trees. They simply don't like their roots getting all that wet. And this is exactly where I was going to plant a tree. So, if you have a look at my original plan, I also had to remove a concrete path. Now, this brought some more bad news. Not only was the concrete 2 inches thick, as you saw on the plan, but it was indeed 4 inches thick. I don't know what they were thinking when they laid down a path of 4 inches thick, but on top of that, there is a layer of bricks underneath it. This makes 9 inches of rubble. Now, I simply can't afford to remove that kind of rubble. It would take me hundreds of pounds to remove this. And plus then, if I had to remove the pond as well, I would have to get more topsoil, more manure, and more all sorts just to get the earth back to normal, because removing all the stuff would leave massive big hollow, and I just simply can't afford it. You see, this is what my original plan was. My vegetable garden cost me £55 to do. Now, and that was a little unexpected as well, because I didn't expect to have to buy the greenhouse. But I did manage to save a whole lot of costs elsewhere. So the greenhouse cost me £25. The extra shelves that I had to buy cost me another £15. The bird netting that I put around those cages and structures I built, that cost me £6. And then the seeds and trays cost me another £9. So that gave me £55. Now, the food forest plan was also equally as ambitious. The equipment, I was going to get a concrete breaker to break all that concrete up. That was going to cost me £35. I'd planned on £40 for compost. That would give me, 4 by 3? That's 12 bags of compost that I'd be using around the trees and all sorts of stuff. And then the cement would have cost me another £40. That's what I was planning to do in building my own pond. And the plants would have cost me another £70. That's now £185. Now, the compost some of it's already been bought, and I'm using it on the seedlings and stuff to grow them. But the total planned expense for my garden, for establishing this garden, was £240. And that would have been spread out over a year. Now, that's less than £5 a week. This is why I keep on expressing that it is a frugal lifestyle that I've embarked upon, simply because, quite frankly, I don't have the money. Now, with the sort of major setbacks that I've suffered in the garden now, I have to go back to the drawing board. And I have to convert this, well, quite frankly, it's a lemon that I've been given, and try and make some sort of lemonade out of it. I have to take the existing pond and the existing concrete paths and stuff like this, and try and make them into some sort of an asset for me. And maybe realign the focus of my thinking. So, one of the first steps that I must do is ask you guys, have you got any ideas of how I can take this lemon and make it into lemonade? How I can keep on track, and how, if not as good, maybe even a little better, get this food forest better than it ever was before, to be more productive than it ever was before. Because I think, obstacles are sent there to challenge you, and normally when you get an obstacle like this, you've got to grab it with both hands and use a whole lot of creative thought and lateral thinking and say, how can I turn this into something better? And this is what I want to do. I don't want to give up and throw up my hands and say, well, it's just too much, nothing worked out. No, there is a better answer out there. And that's why I'm asking you guys for some sort of ideas of what I can do. I've got some ideas of what I want to do, and that's going to follow in my next episode of how I'm going to convert my lemons into lemonade and create something good. I want to ask you to come fly with me for less than $5 a week. That's what it's going to cost me, and that's what I'm determined to keep it at, because I simply can't afford any more. So less than $5 a week, can we do it? I think so. Wait for the next episode, and please give me comments and ideas of what I can do. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Yes! Please subscribe!